I am going to tell you a story that will give you goosebumps. This is a story of shadows and secrets that may be hidden in the world around us. This is a story of those scary nights when the winds whisper in the ears and every sound makes the heart beat faster. This is a story of a family, an old house, and the dark forces that came after them. Like The Conjuring, this story too walks the thin line between truth and fear. So, get ready and listen up.
The Shadow of the Night, a terrifying tale. It was 1971. Harrisville, Rhode Island was a quiet little town where time seemed to stand still. Rolling fields, dense forests, and cold winds defined the place. Into this town came the Perrin family, chasing a fresh start in a new home, an old farmhouse from the 18th century. Roger and Carolyn Perrin, along with their 5 daughters, Andrea, Nancy, Christine, Cindy, and April, were thrilled about their new life. The house was massive, with creaking wooden walls, rattling windows, and a sprawling yard that stretched toward a small pond out back. Beyond the pond loomed a dark forest, silent and watchful. When Carolyn first saw the house, she felt an inexplicable pull, like it was calling her. Roger thought it was a steal, and the girls loved the open space to run and play. But something felt off from the very beginning. The air inside carried a strange smell, like rotting wood mixed with something unplaceable. Andrea jokingly said, "Maybe a ghost is vacationing here." Everyone laughed, but there was an uneasy edge to it.
That first night, as the family unpacked their belongings, little April saw something odd. She was playing near the pond when she caught a glimpse of a face in the water. A woman's face, pale, dripping, with hollow eyes. Terrified, she ran to her mother, but when Carolyn looked, the water was still. "It was probably just a cloud's reflection," Carolyn said, hugging her daughter. But April insisted. "She was looking at me, Mommy." She didn't smile. Later that night, as everyone settled into bed, the house fell silent. But around midnight, Christine woke to the sound of footsteps in her room. She sat up, heart pounding. Her room was on the second floor, with a window overlooking the forest. She told herself it was just the wind rustling the trees. Then she heard a faint scratching sound from under her bed. Grabbing her flashlight, she shone it beneath. Nothing but dust. As she switched it off, a cold breeze swept through the room, and the window, which had been locked, swung open on its own. Christine's scream woke the whole family. Roger rushed in and slammed the window shut, but his face betrayed his unease. "Old houses do this," he muttered. "Oh," though his voice lacked conviction. The next day, he checked the window. It was perfectly fine. So how had it opened? As days turned into weeks, strange occurrences piled up. Nancy woke one morning to find her favorite necklace, always kept on her dresser, missing. 2 days later, it turned up in the basement, inside an old trunk that hadn't been touched in years. The basement was the creepiest part of the house. Damp, cold, with creaky wooden stairs that groaned under every step. No one liked going down there, especially after dark. Cindy, the most curious of the girls, saw something chilling one night, scratched into her bedroom wall. In what looked like mud were the words, "Look at me." She ran to her sisters, sobbing, but when they returned, the wall was clean. "I'm not lying," Cindy cried. "It was there." Carolyn comforted her, but she was starting to feel uneasy too. She'd begun noticing things herself. A shadow in the kitchen, a fleeting figure in the mirror that vanished when she turned. Roger dismissed it all as the girls' imaginations or nerves from moving to a new place. As a truck driver, he was often gone for weeks, and when he was home, he wanted peace, not ghost stories. But even he started to sense something wrong. One night, reading the paper in the living room, he felt eyes on him. He glanced around, nothing. Then, out of nowhere, the old grandfather clock, silent for years, began to tick. He shook it, and it stopped. He didn't tell Carolyn. One stormy November night, everything took a darker turn. Roger was out of town, leaving Carolyn alone with the girls. Around 2 a.m., the power went out. Outside, the wind howled like a banshee, and the windows rattled furiously. Carolyn lit candles and gathered the girls in one room. Then, a loud crash echoed from the basement, like something heavy had fallen. Andrea, the bravest, volunteered to check. "I'll just look," she said, grabbing a flashlight. Carolyn protested, but Andrea crept toward the basement door. When she opened it, a foul, icy gust hit her. She shone the flashlight down the stairs, but the darkness seemed to swallow the beam. Suddenly, The flashlight flickered and died. Andrea tried to scream, but her throat tightened. She felt something tug at her, pulling her toward the stairs. Panicking, she slammed the door shut and ran back to her mother. "There's someone down there," she gasped, trembling. "It spoke to me. It said it won't let us go." Carolyn kept the girls in her room that night, barricading the door. But in the morning, she found blue bruises on her arms, like someone had gripped her tightly. Fear settled in. This wasn't just imagination anymore. Something in the house wanted to hurt them. Desperate for answers, Carolyn visited the local library and dug into Harrisville's history. She found chilling stories about the land their house stood on. In the 19th century, a woman named Bathsheba Sherman had lived there. Rumors swirled that she practiced witchcraft, sacrificing her newborn child before hanging herself on a tree by the pond. Locals believed her spirit still haunted the place, tormenting anyone who dared to live there. Carolyn sought out Mrs. Hopkins, one of the town's oldest residents. The old woman's eyes darkened as she spoke in a hushed tone. "Bathsheba's not alone, dear. She's just a puppet. There's something else, something not of this world. That house has seen many families, and none stayed long." "What do we do?" Carolyn asked, her voice shaking. "Leave," Mrs. Hopkins replied, "or it'll take you." When Roger returned, Carolyn told him everything. He was skeptical, but seeing his wife's fear and the girls' pale faces convinced him to act. The local church pointed them to Ram and Mira Verma, a husband and wife team of paranormal investigators. Ram was a demonologist who'd studied dark entities across the globe. Mira was a medium, able to commune with spirits. They'd saved countless families from supernatural threats. When Ram and Mira stepped into the house, they felt an immediate weight in the air. "This place, it's not dead," Mira whispered. "It's alive. It's watching us." Ram inspected every corner, finding strange scratches in the basement walls, like claw marks. He turned to Carolyn. "Your house is infested with a demonic presence. This isn't just a ghost. It's something that feeds on human weakness." Ram and Mira set up their equipment: recorders, thermal cameras, holy water, crosses, and a book of ancient Sanskrit mantras. The first few days were quiet, but then things escalated. One night, a recorder captured a voice, deep, guttural, and inhuman. It hissed, "I am yours, you are mine." Ram's face hardened as he played it back. "This is an ancient entity," he told Mira. "It's using Bathsheba." Mira held a sense to contact the spirits. She lit candles and began chanting. Suddenly, her body trembled. She saw a vision. Bathsheba, standing by the pond, her face decayed, blood dripping from her eyes. Bathsheba screamed, "Let me go, it won't let me." Behind her loomed a black shadow, tall, shapeless, and so terrifying that Mira's heart raced. The sense ended with Mira collapsing. When she came to, she told Ram, "The demon is controlling Bathsheba. It's trapped her soul to curse this house. And now, it wants Carolyn." After that night, Carolyn changed. She grew silent, her eyes hollow. She'd stand by the basement door for hours, as if something called to her. One morning, when Andrea tried to wake her, Carolyn grabbed her wrist so hard it left marks. Carolyn's voice wasn't her own, low, menacing. "You can't leave," she said. "This is my house." Ram and Mira acted fast. They locked Carolyn in a room, surrounding her with a circle of holy water. As they prayed, the walls shook, windows slammed open and shut. A chilling laugh echoed through the house. The girls huddled in a corner, sobbing. Ram told Roger, "The demon's trying to possess Carolyn. We need an exorcism, now." Getting the church's approval for an exorcism wasn't easy. Ram contacted Father Joseph, a local priest. At first, Father Joseph hesitated, demanding proof. But when he saw Carolyn, her face pale, eyes bloodshot, skin scratched, he agreed. To protect the family, Ram and Mira fortified the house with religious symbols. They hung crosses, sprinkled holy water, and chanted mantras, but every effort seemed to anger the demon more. One night, April vanished from her bed. The family searched frantically and found her by the pond, half submerged in the water, muttering incoherently. As Ram pulled her out, a black, smoky substance poured from her mouth and dissolved into the air. "It's trying to scare us," Graham said. "It wants us to give up." The night of the exorcism arrived. A fierce storm raged outside, as if nature itself was part of the fight. Father Joseph, Ram, and Mira tied Carolyn to a chair. The girls and Roger stayed in another room, praying. The exorcism room was lit only by flickering candles.
As Father Joseph began reciting Latin prayers, the temperature plummeted. Carolyn's body convulsed, her voice no longer human. "You can't stop me," she screamed. "This house is mine. They're all mine." Her eyes turned pitch black, her face twisting unnaturally. Ram sprinkled holy water, but it sizzled in the air. Mira chanted a Sanskrit mantra she'd learned in Tibet, enraging the demon further. Blood like liquid oozed from the walls. The candles snuffed out. Deafening scream filled the house. The girls sobbed, and Roger pounded on the door, desperate to help. Ram refused to back down. He raised a cross and shouted, "Leave this family, or I'll bind you forever." Suddenly, Carolyn's body lifted into the air, chair and all. Her mouth opened, and a black mist poured out, forming a face in the air, a face with jagged teeth and burning eyes, not of this world. Father Joseph prayed with all his might, and Mira's mantra grew louder. After hours of battle, as dawn's first light crept through the windows, the mist shattered with a final, ear-splitting scream. Carolyn collapsed, still and silent. The Perrons left the house for good, moving to a new town to rebuild their lives. Carolyn slowly recovered, but she never spoke of that night. The girls tried to forget, though sometimes, in the dark, they swore they saw someone outside their windows. Ram and Mira sealed the house, carving ancient symbols into the walls and boarding up the basement. But Ram knew the demon wasn't gone, just weakened, biding its time for another chance. The townsfolk began calling the house cursed. No one dared go near it. Years later, some teenagers broke in on a dare. They fled, screaming, claiming they saw a woman by the pond, beckoning them closer. So, that's the story of the house where darkness wasn't just in the shadows. It's a reminder that some things lie beyond our understanding. But love, faith, and courage can weaken even the deepest horrors. Or maybe they just wait. Ever felt a cold spot in your house? Heard a creak that didn't belong? Maybe it's just my story lingering in your mind. But tonight, when the lights are off, take a quick glance behind you. You never know who or what might be watching.